quick disclaimer, I recorded this video about 4 months ago and didn't actually get around to finishing it until now. There are like 6 Ember Tetras left from the original 10 I had. I had 4 die about 2 weeks after making the video from unknown causes, but looking back they definitely looked more sickly than the rest, and I'll definitely be quarantining everything in the future. The remaining 6 are large and healthy, and there's been no fighting between the fish, so I'm gonna have to attribute the success to how densely planted the tank is. Like, honestly, just like look at it, it actually looks like a jungle. And this isn't really related to the rest of the video, but I've noticed a lot in narration in YouTube videos, especially like those Reddit videos where they just sort of read Reddit posts and upload that as content, that narrators tend to, a lot of the times, follow like a sort of monotonous pattern in reading sentences in like obvious scripts, and they end up, their voices for every sentence they have, or every sentence they read, ends up having like the same inflection, and it kind of bothers me. So just like, I guess, let me know how my narration is in the comments. And I guess now into the actual video. Hey everyone, I'm Dylan. As you can see, I'm currently in the process of temperature acclimating 10 Ember Tetras in my 10-gallon tank. It's been a long way coming, but the stocking of my 10-gallon tank is finally complete after over a year, and I'm really excited to share it. A little over a year ago, I set up a bare-bottom 10-gallon tank and brought home a Koi Plakat Betta from my local fish store. A day later, it became clear that he had ick, and I treated him with API Super Ick Cure for about 10 days, which cleared up the problem. On screen is a picture of my beta a year ago. Keep in mind he does have the marble gene, so although he started out white, he's now mostly red and black. And to start the scape, I added lava rocks and black sand that the tank still has, and over the course of the year I added low-tech plants that could survive in low light. The tank has Java Moss, Anacharis, Windelov Java Fern, various Hygrophila, and an Amazon sword. Then about a month ago, I brought home 3 German blue rams to be the centerpiece fish for my 20-gallon. My programming had died after I had had her for about 2 years, which was really sad, and I almost brought home another one, but I actually ended up going with the rams because I really liked how they look at the store. Almost immediately, the male paired up the larger, more colorful female ram, and they began to bully the other female. Not to say that the one in the 10 isn't beautiful, it's just not as striking as the rams in my 20. I thought I was going to have to bring her back to the store or give her to a friend when I decided to check online if they were compatible with betas. I'll get more into the details later, but long story short, they make good tank mates, and they have been doing well together ever since. Ever since I started with the Koi Betta, I've been wanting to get Ember Tetras. The Koi Betta reminds me of, obviously, a koi carp, and the Ember Tetras are like tiny comet goldfish, so I basically wanted to do what is essentially a nano goldfish tank. Although it didn't really come out like that. The fish store that the Tetras came from, my house, have the same water source. There's no need to drip acclimate them. The only water parameters that's different in my tank is the tank's temperature. Instead of fishing around for all 10 of them in a bag, I'm just going to dump them in a net over a bucket and then add them to the tank. Ember Tetras are especially good beta tank mates because as long as the beta doesn't see them as food, they have no traits like colorful fins that might provoke a beta. They're also temperature compatible and are perfect for a 10-gallon because their maximum size is less than an inch. It's actually only around like 3/4 of an inch. Now they're all in the tank, and thankfully the beta seems to be ignoring them. They'll color up to a darker orange in a few days, but honestly they already look pretty fantastic, and I can't wait to see how they'll turn out. I personally love Plakat Bettas. Their shorter fins mean that they have the ability to take full advantage of a 10-gallon tank, and honestly with longer betas, with the betas that you see more often with longer fins, they seem to be less active and just substantially less interesting to watch. I actually prefer Plakats. And although she doesn't have the greatest coloration, and I had no choice but to add her when the pair in my 20s started to bully her, honestly, this young female German blue ram is such an awesome tank mate for my beta, even though I never planned to add her to the tank. Alright, to feed the Ember Tetras, I'm actually going to use a mortar and pestle to grind New Life Spectrum pellets into particles small enough that they can eat them. And obviously the beta gets the beta pellets. And they seem to be enjoying the food. Thanks for watching the video. If you did enjoy, consider subscribing, and as I rarely upload, I'd recommend turning on notifications. If you want to see the video that I'm currently making for a new, much larger, more exciting display tank whenever that comes out. And I'll see you all in the next video.